Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's the morning after.
Yeah.
The morning after the preview night for Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and it seems like the box office prediction is dropping. It is dropping. Apparently it took in 40 million in previews on Thursday night, which is good, except that just the day before it was at 44 to 48 million.
Yeah,
and now
that's
they've had to revise it to 40 million. And we were also seeing revisions to what the weekend take is going to be for this movie. It's been adjusted down multiple times over the last couple of weeks. They were hoping for 220 million plus. Then it went down to 200. Then 175 to 200. Now we're in the apparently in the 160.
This sounds like Solo.
Yeah, but it's not as dire as Solo.
No, it's not as bad as Solo. But I mean the same pattern.
Yeah, but it is the same pattern. We're seeing a lot of very similar things with this movie compared to Solo. And even if it does considerably better than Solo, which I believe it will do, there are concerns that it's not going to meet Disney's expectations.
Well, no, because they spent so much money on this movie. But besides the reshoots, which they did for Solo, I think they did it more extensively for this.
Yeah.
And all the money they're throwing at this. They have deals with Verizon, with, Facebook, with, Fortnite. There's GE. They have brand deals and all this crap. There's so much money being dumped into promoting this thing. I'm sure they probably honestly spent, I wouldn't be surprised if they spent as much money promoting this thing as they did making the thing.
That usually is the case, but this one, for sure, they definitely have thrown everything at, because I think they were hoping that this movie would be another Endgame. This is why they've been marketing Rise of Skywalker as this big finale. And I think it's not going to do nearly as well as they were hoping for. It's not going to bomb. We've said all along, for people who are like, oh my God, it's not going to bomb. No, it's not going to bomb.
We never said it was.
It's not going to bomb, but it is going to underperform per what Disney was expecting for this. And it is going to cast a big cloud over the future of Star Wars, because where do they go from here? That's the big question everybody wonders. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how it performed in China, or didn't perform in China, did not perform well at all in China. And then we're going to talk about how these sites are ranking the movies, and it's very interesting. Some sites that love The Last Jedi are actually putting The Rise of Skywalker dead last on their ranking list right now. It's crazy. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack. Before we get into the video, please subscribe if you guys haven't. And we also have a sponsor for this video.
Yep.
So we're going to give them a shout out. We appreciate you guys listening to it, because we got to pay the bills around here. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, before we continue with the video, we're going to take a minute to give a shout out to the sponsor of this episode of Clownfish TV, Surfshark VPN. If you're living outside of the United States and you want to legally watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus or check out Hulu, you can do this with Surfshark VPN and a valid paid subscription, of course. Yeah, I said legally, just to be clear. I'm not advocating that any of you sail the high seas, if you know what I mean, right? And I'm also not going to ask about everything you might want to use a VPN for. That is your business. But I do recommend using a VPN if you're concerned about your internet privacy. Basically, services like Surfshark VPN lets you encrypt all the data sent on the internet, so no one can steal your passwords and other data. They don't know where you're surfing from. Again, you can bypass those pesky region locks. Check this out. If you're on Netflix and you want to search for Marvel movies and you live in, say, the Netherlands, which is where I am connected right now to the Netherlands, this is all that's going to come up for you because of the region lock. There's really not a lot of Marvel content here, is there? So let me just switch this to the United States and see what happens. Watch this. Watch this. So we're going to connect to Netflix in the US. We're going to search for Marvel. Look at that. Now you can watch Infinity War. You can watch Ant-Man, Black Panther. There are a lot more choices. So you can rinse and repeat for Disney Plus and Hulu. You can watch The Mandalorian. You can get around that region lock. If you're interested in checking out Surfshark VPN, you can use our promo code for a discount. Surfshark is the only VPN to offer one account to use on an unlimited number of devices. You'll get 83% off and 3 extra months for free. So Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. There's no risk to try it out. The link is in the description. Thank you for listening to this. We got to keep the lights on, guys. But this is a service that we wholeheartedly recommend. And let's get back to the video. Okay, guys, welcome back. Let's talk about this. So Star Wars Rise of Skywalker feels the Force with 40 million Thursday box office. So this is funny, though, because literally I hit refresh on this, and before it said 44 to 48 million. And that's what, just to prove it, here it is, deadline 10 hours ago. It was 44 plus million. That was the early read. Now it's been adjusted down considerably. I mean, that's not a little amount of money to adjust it.
No, that's 10% to 20%.
Yeah, let's refresh again and see where we're at.
It's staying the same now.
Staying the same. So second updates, Disney's reporting. Disney is reporting 40 million previews for The Rise of Skywalker, which is still very good. And the 5th highest Thursday preview of all time behind Endgame, which I didn't think anybody was going to top that. The Force Awakens was 57 million. Last Jedi was 45 million. Harry Potter, the last Harry Potter was 43.5 million. So it does come in a little bit above Infinity War, but we're talking inflation too. That's what they're saying, but we don't know.
So Rogue One was 29 million. They have Solo on here?
Yeah, Solo actually did pretty bad.
Yeah, I know
pulled that up because I was kind of curious. I'm like, well,
yeah,
what
14.
did? Yeah, 14. Then that
was way under expectation.
Dire. Yeah, 14 is. I mean, that would be fine for a middle of the road Marvel movie, but for a Star Wars movie, 14 was dire, and that's when everybody knew this thing was going to bomb.
Yeah.
Again, I do not see the Rise of Skywalker bombing, but we're hearing stories of people like getting pissed off and walking out of the theater.
Yeah.
We're seeing videos like Drunk 3PO, who I'll put a link to this.
Hello, Drunk 3PO.
I think this is in Orlando. This is a big theater in Orlando, and it's empty. He's talking about how it's empty. There were a bunch of photos last night of half-empty theaters.
Right, yep. Yeah, which is what we saw with Solo as well. And, look, when we went to see The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, there was no place to sit. I mean, it was like, if you weren't there early, you weren't getting a good seat at all. And then when Solo hit, it was like nobody there. Now, granted, we went a couple days later. I think we didn't go Thursday. I think we went Friday or Saturday.
We actually went to the opening night for Solo, and I remember it being weird because I tweeted that there was nobody in the theater.
Yeah, it was just like us and like a few other people, and that was it.
Like 10, 12 people in the theater, and that
total.
That theater for The Last Jedi and for Endgame were completely, or not Endgame, I'm sorry, Infinity War.
Infinity War. We're completely full.
Completely full. They were turning people away, and they were full like an hour before the movie started.
You were lined up, everybody had to line up in the hallway. Saw the same thing with Endgame. You had to line up in the hallway until they could let you in, and the line went clear through the theater. Solo just walked right in, got a seat. We're the first ones there. We're like, we got there, we gotta get there early, get a seat. And we were there, and there was nobody. And we were there longest time we were like by ourselves, weren't we? Yeah, I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this is Thursday night preview for a Star Wars movie. And I remember, even when the prequels came out for Attack of the Clones, I remember we were there like 3 or 4 hours early. When Phantom Menace came out, I actually took a day off of work to get in line because the line was so bad. The line started that morning before the theater even opened. It was like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. People started lining up for the Phantom Menace, and that was after I bought tickets. So, I mean, to see it collapse, to see it go downhill so fast is very sad. But even compared to The Force Awakens, it was incredibly busy. Right. Now, what we're seeing here is it's interesting on both fronts. You have your really, Last Jedi, let's be honest, there's no way to talk around it. It completely caused a rift in the fandom. Yeah. So you have your people that are very pro Last Jedi and your people who are very anti Last Jedi. A lot of people just are in the middle, but you don't like it or you hate it. Anyway, with this one, you got everybody mad. It's not just like one side's pissed. Everybody's pissed. I can't say how many comments people are like, oh, this isn't fair to Ryan. Justice for Ryan. Poor Ryan Johnson. Blah, 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 blah. Because, Last Jedi gets undone with this film, apparently. Yeah, and that's it. It's like this winds up being a movie for nobody. And it's really kind of sad to see Star Wars in this state. But you're looking at a lot of the lists, and I was going to pull these up. And a lot of websites, Screen Rant, comicbook.com, they've been ranking the Star Wars movies now that the Rise of Skywalker's out. But based on what? Their opinion. Personal opinion. It's like they're not like they did a big survey to find out. It's just their opinion. No, we have their staff opinions. But they're ranking, the ones that rank The Last Jedi high are ranking the Rise of Skywalker low. So you have a bunch of people who are going to sit this one out. They're pissed off about the direction of Star Wars after The Last Jedi, or even after The Force Awakens. So they're sitting it out. And then the people who were
the new audience that they were looking for, well, you've completely alienated them too. So you've successfully alienated a bunch of people. And what's going to be really curious is how this movie does over the weekend, what the long-term, reactions are like. The general audiences, what do they think?
Here's the thing I've noticed with Star Wars films too, as somebody who's gone in and gotten so much shit for not liking it. It's interesting. It takes a couple weeks to get actual fair evaluations. Like when we came out of Force Awakens, my first thing was, she's a Mary Sue, and I already saw this movie. And oh, we loved it. It's the best thing ever. How dare you think that? And then a few weeks later, oh, you know what? It was a New Hope all over again. It's like, no shit, you don't say. Sorry, Mom. Same with Last Jedi. Came out of it like, what the heck? What? Oh no, it's great. It's great. And then after a while, well, now that I'm thinking about it, it was, kind of bad. It's like, no, you don't say.
You're just not intelligent enough to understand Rian Johnson's.
It's not just Rian Johnson, any of it. You just don't fundamentally understand Star Wars. If I have to hear it one more time, I'm a better fan than you because I like it. That's a load of shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Again, sorry, Mom.
But this is funny. Screen Rant. Now, this, I would not include the Clone Wars in any ranking because the Clone Wars is the pilot for the animated series. It did not do well at the box office. People were like, what, a Star Wars cartoon?
They didn't understand what it was.
No, and it honestly, in my personal opinion, should have just been broken up into a mini-series.
Yeah.
But George, I guess, wanted to release it theatrically. It did not do well. I don't count it. So, getting rid of Clone Wars, Rise of Skywalker, according to Screen Rant, is dead last. Dead last.
I mean, yes, they put The Last Jedi towards the front because they're Ryan fans. Is that what's going on?
Yes, they did. So here we go. Last Jedi is number 3 behind.
I would not agree.
Wait, they put Star Wars over Empire. Okay, well, so Last Jedi is the third. So they put Last Jedi over Return of the Jedi, over Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue One was so far much better than The Last Jedi.
Over The Force Awakens. This is not my ranking at all. Although a lot of people probably wouldn't like my ranking anyway.
Probably not.
My ranking actually puts Revenge of the Sith in number 3 behind Empire.
Well, I would put Solo above The Last Jedi.
I would put Solo.
So
I would put Solo and Rogue One. I would put above The Last Jedi. Definitely. But so people are ranking it. Here we have comicbook.com, which within a 24-hour period put up 2 rankings.
Right, based on their own opinion, apparently.
On their own opinion. So this is the staff opinion. I think before the movie. And of course, we had Empire. Now they have Empire in first place. New Hope in second place, Return of the Jedi in third place, and they have The Last Jedi in fourth. Solo and Attack of the Clones at the very bottom. They actually put Phantom Menace above. Well, I actually would put Phantom Menace above Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
I think there's Qui-Gon makes the movie. But this is their staff ranking, right? But then, like, a day later, they have Patrick Kavanaugh.
That's his. I don't know if it's his ranking or what. He says we.
He says we, but it's a completely different order. So Attack of the Clones, dead last.
Same place.
Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Solo, Rise of Skywalker, number 7. So it's better than Solo and the Phantom Menace, right?
According to them.
According to them. Then Rogue One. Then Force Awakens. Then Return of the Jedi. And above Return of the Jedi, Last Jedi.
Last Jedi is not better than Return of the Jedi.
Then The New Hope, then Empire. I will agree with your number 1 and 2 choice there, but hell no. Hell no.
And so a lot of these things you're finding that people are getting all ass mad because they wanted Rian Johnson's film to be. They're mad because they're just defending Rian Johnson, and now they know what everybody else has felt like for the last 2 years.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but again, it's like it's gonna break it the other way where because they're trying so hard to push away the last or wash away the Last Jedi that now you've basically got no fandom left, do you?
Right.
I mean, you pushed away a bunch of fans with this movie, then you undid this movie. So the people that spent all this time defending it, they're all pissed off, and now everybody's pissed off. So the fandom has come together at last to be completely pissed off.
Apparently.
Everybody's on the dark side now. But here we have a Business Insider talking about even though the $40 million preview night was good, it wasn't great.
No, it's not. That's what I said to you. I'm like, okay, that's okay, but it's not fantastic.
Yeah, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker already making big money at the box office despite the lousy reviews. And originally they were talking 200 plus. I mean, back in October, I think they were talking it was going to make 250 million. I remember Forbes at one point predicting it was going to make more than The Force Awakens because it was the last Star Wars movie ever. It was going to be the end game of Star Wars, and it might be the end game, but not the end game.
Had the movie's been good, it might have been the case, but that wasn't what happened.
Yeah, so Disney reported on Friday, $40 million, fifth biggest figure. Okay. Fifth place is pretty good, I guess. It's not all good news for Disney, though. The $40 million figure is down from the start of Star Wars The Last Jedi in 2017. The Rian Johnson directed title earned $45 million in previews and went on to have a $220 million opening weekend. Industry projections have The Rise of Skywalker opening between 175 and 200. That's a huge opening for any franchise other than Star Wars.
They always use that. Well, it's really good for most movies, but for Star Wars, it's not. You know, that's the point. You apples to apples here, people.
Yeah, because it's again, they adjusted this down just a few hours ago. Just a few hours ago, they were already like, oh, it's 44 to 48 million is what they made Thursday. Now it's down to 40. I'm waiting for them to be like, no, the preview night, once we actually counted it, was like 30, 35 million. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But China hates it. China hates it.
To be fair, China hasn't always really liked Star Wars to begin with.
No. And that's the thing. But they really hated this one.
Yeah.
It's really gone down. So this is updated. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker flops in China. Again, not a surprise. Mm-mm. What is surprising is how badly it flopped. Because even The Force Awakens did pretty good. Rogue One actually did pretty good, but that's because it had a Chinese star in it.
I like that movie. Sorry, I did. I really liked Rogue One. Anyway.
Yeah, I like Rogue One too. A lot of people like Rogue One. So yeah, on Friday, it's first official sessions in Chinese theaters. The film was barely crawling by 8 p.m. local time. The Rise of Skywalker had earned just $2.2 million. According to multiple data tracking services, it stood in fourth place. Fourth place behind 3 Chinese titles. That is a bomb, topping the chart with a comfortable 46% market share as a new release. Donnie Yen starring martial arts. Okay, well, I don't know what this is. But it's so weird because Disney is used to knocking it out of the park with pretty much everything in China, and this is not performing. So they said lifetime box office in China is only going to be $18 million. $18 million. The Force Awakens opened with $52.3 million opening weekend. It did $126 million lifetime. Rogue One released with...
I was like, Donnie Yen was in Rogue One. That's why I said, you said about Donnie Yen in the thing. I'm like, Donnie Yen immediately.
Yeah, he's a big star.
Up because I'm like, that's the guy from Rogue One.
Yeah, he's a big star over there. So that's why, it managed $30.6 million on opening.
So his movie right now beat out Star Wars.
Yes.
Of course it did.
Yeah, and people went to go see Rogue One because he was in it, right?
Yeah, and I loved him in it. He was great. I loved him.
In 2017, Last Jedi slipped. Opening weekend of 28.7 million, lifetime of 42. So just to put this in perspective of how bad Star Wars is doing in China, and this is with Disney trying to cultivate a Chinese audience.
Yeah, they're trying very hard.
They're talking the lifetime for Rise of Skywalker in China is 18 million, which is like half of what The Last Jedi did just in opening weekend. But so because Disney has been trying very, very hard to get Chinese audiences to bite. And they're not biting. And I don't think any number of ebooks is going to get people interested unless they do a Rogue One sequel and somehow bring Donnie Yen back
from the dead. Yeah,
from the dead.
I watched a whole show of his character.
He was good.
I liked him. Anyway.
All right, so you sent me this.
I did. I thought this was hilarious because everybody else expected it. It's exactly what everybody thought it was going to be.
Remember those leaks that people said were bullshit? That the leaks weren't true? That YouTube was lying, that Reddit was lying, everybody was lying, and sites like this and people working for sites like this trolled people on Twitter and in articles talking about how the leaks are lies, they're lies, they'd never do that, it's not real, just go wait and see the movie, Disney can keep secrets, none of this is true.
Well, it's funny to me because as soon as we saw the trailer at Celebration, we were making comments like, oh, what, Skywalker be Rey somehow? Is she a Skywalker somehow, like Luke's kid or something? And then, like no one thought it was going to be Rey. Everybody flipping thought it was going to be Rey somehow. I mean, come on. Yeah,
there were fan theories that Rey was a Kenobi, Rey was a Palpatine, Rey was a Skywalker, and they basically took a couple of those, smushed it together, and made her ridiculously powerful. Ridiculously
everybody
OP.
saw this twist coming.
Twist. What a twist.
Yeah, everybody saw it coming.
So basically, Emperor Palpatine wins in a roundabout way. Because it's his bloodline that overtakes the Skywalker bloodline.
And now she continues. And she doesn't want to use the name and takes the Skywalker name. She's not technically a Skywalker bloodline. So the Skywalker bloodline ends and the bad guys continues. But no, they're saying because he put himself in her, which sounds wrong. What Kylo did. You're scratching your head like, I know, right?
He put himself.
His life in her or whatever. But that doesn't make her the bloodline of Skywalker.
he exchanges bodily essences with Rey.
Whatever happens, she technically is not the bloodline of Skywalker. She's just adopting the name, and she was, you know, she's the Palpatine. I'm sorry.
So she's basically a parasite that killed the host. You know, the Skywalkers were the host, the Palpatines take over.
Apparently.
So, I mean, did they do this so Disney in 10 years can be like, oh, let's have another trilogy with Rey's granddaughter or grandson wanting to be the new emperor because the Palpatine genes are strong.
Yeah.
And the Skywalkers are all dead.
Well, there's a rumor that they've already trademarked episode 10. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh,
and that they're saying that it might, that Rey, then the Skywalkers will continue in the future movies. But I heard the opposite. So that's just a rumor. Don't take that as any kind of anything other than a rumor, because that's what it is right now.
So this is an unfortunate truth. Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate that this is the truth. Palpatine was never supposed to be in the movie. Rey was never supposed to be a Palpatine. This was not the plan, but that would indicate they had a plan when they started.
Yeah, we all
this.
know they didn't have a plan.
There's no plan.
There's no plan here. And all the last movie, this is the current movie, the plan for it was just to undo The Last Jedi. So
pretty much.
I mean, that's what this was.
But they undo. This is what I'm talking about. This is why this movie, you know, in retrospect, is not going to age well, because it not only undoes everything they set up in the previous two movies, but it completely undoes the original trilogy. They completely shit on Luke Skywalker and his victory. They completely shit on Anakin. And now Rey walks off with everything: the Skywalker name, the lightsaber, the X-Wing, the house, the dog, Chewie, everything.
Well, no, the Chewie's not there. It's BB-8. That's her dog.
The Roomba. She got the Roomba in the divorce. And that's how we're going to end it. That's how Disney's going to end it.
I have nothing else to say.
I don't either. But we're going to watch it over the weekend and see how it does.
Not watching the movie.
No. We're oh my God, we got so much shit. We got so much shit from people. I'm so pissed off. We had comments, because we did a sit out last night. We knew we weren't going to go see this one. We've already seen the ending. We know how it ends. We know the leaks are true. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going. I don't care. This is the first time in 20 plus years I haven't gone to a Star Wars movie opening weekend. We're just like, yeah, we'll just do a live stream and talk about what's going on. And we had a bunch of people like, yo, how can you call yourselves a pop culture channel if you won't go see this movie and give us a fair review? I'm like, listen, last time we went to Solo.
I was going to say, we went to Solo, and we got shit for going to Solo. How could you dare go to that movie? Everybody else is sitting it out. What's wrong with you? It's like, well, kiss our ass. We don't care.
Yeah, and so meanwhile, like, a whole bunch of other channels went to go see Rise of Skywalker.
I gave them their money.
And I am not telling anybody. This is not the reason I'm saying this. I'm not telling anybody not to go see a movie.
No, if you want to go right. See it. If you like it, that's completely okay. If you don't like it, that's completely okay. That's what we stand for here. You're allowed to like things. You're allowed not to like things. Go if you want to. No one's going to, make fun of you or be mean to you for going, or vice versa.
No, that's fine. Do what you want to do. But I just think it was funny that a lot of these people were calling for boycotts of Solo, but now they're going and paying for this movie, which is arguably worse and is going to have more lasting damage than Solo. And again, you can do whatever you want to do, but I just thought it was so weird how things have changed just in a year.
This is the point: is we took shit either way.
There's no making people happy. And the thing is for us, seeing this one out as a personal choice. It's not making a statement. It's not telling other people.
Care.
We just don't care. Like, this trilogy's a dud. It's shit. We're going to step over it, not into it, and move on. Meanwhile, The Mandalorian's pretty okay. Mandalorian's pretty okay.
Yep.
So I think going forward, this is going to be like so many other things with Disney, where you're going to have to be selective about what you actually like.
Right. Some things are good and some things aren't. Yeah,
and this trilogy is a bust, complete bust for me. So we'll see if it's a bust for other people. We'll see how it does long term, if it drops off, or what's going to happen here.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Yep, bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.